Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I am diving deep into the card kit of the month. This one is called Butterfly Sparkle, and there are a ton of really fun things in there. I already went over pretty much everything in my live stream showing the club kits, all of the good things. But what I'm planning on using right now is just, well, I'm probably not going to do any stamping on this card. I have not decided, or for that matter, how many cards I'm going to do. I am going to use the Butterfly Sparkle paper pad because the papers are just so lovely. There are a lot of ephemera pieces, which this month I got smart and decided to put it into a little pocket protector thing so that I have them all sorted out so it's easier for me to pick from. But there were also a couple pieces that were too big to fit into those little baseball card sleeves, and that is these fun sentiment banners, sentiment panels, I guess you would say. These are like 3x5. No, I'm sorry, these are 3x4 panels, which is perfect for a focal point on your card and takes care of the sentiment as well. So I'm going to use at least one of those. And I also decided that I'm going to do a little bit different on my card base as well. This is kind of a gatefold type of card, and what I figure I'm going to do, haven't decided which direction I'm going to go, but I'm going to do it kind of like this with that in the middle, and then you've got a fun flap that opens up to show the inside of your card. So let's go ahead and get started. So my panel, of course, this is an A2 size card, so it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The panels here come to about an 1.5 inches. So this was scored at 1.5 inches, and then the other one is about, if I can remember right, 2 3/4. So that means I need a panel that's going to be a little bit smaller than that, right? It still needs to be right about 5 1/2, because that's how big my card panel is. But if I want that band of white space around it, which of course I do, I need to trim that down to 5 1/4. I'll go ahead and trim off a little piece there. And then for this side, I think I'm going to be smart this time and just go with 4 inches. So I've got a more solid piece instead of lots of little bits that I have to throw away. And now I can trim this down. So this piece here again is 1 1/2. So I want to have about 1/8 inch on the side that shows. So that means that this one needs to be 1/8 inch smaller. So that's going to be 1 3/8. So if I have it lined up with the center, that does give me that little band all the way around. Yay, that is exactly what I wanted it to do. And stick that in place. Again, I am going up to that edge. I'm going to line it right up with the edge there. Give it that little bit of border on the two sides. And I'm going to say that that is going to be close enough. Do the same thing on this side. And I want the pattern to match up, so I need to make sure that I put it on there straight. Okay, putting that right up to the edge there. Now this one is going to be our focal image. It's going to go right in the center. And I also want to back it on the other side, because this is a little bit thin of paper, so I need a piece of regular cardstock for this. Okay, so I'm going to just trim at that line. And trim off this part, which is also right at 3. I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto the front, just on the one side. And trying to pretty much center that right there. That looks good. And now I can adhere this guy onto the back of that panel. Okay, so now that flap is working fine. So it opens up fine. That looks good for the front of the card. Next, I'm going to also add some cardstock to the inside, some pattern paper to the inside of this. Actually, I think I'm going to go with this. Yes, the pattern does have a lot going on in it, but I think that that is going to be pretty. It looks like I'm going to need to use part of a second sheet. So the inside back, of course, is going to be a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel. So I need to cut this down a little bit from that. So this is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So that is going to be the inside middle. This piece looks like it's a little too narrow. It's a little too narrow to fit across where I want for that. So that's going to be for my 1 1/2 inch piece, which now instead needs to be right at 1 1/4. So I'll go ahead and trim that one down. So it's going to go on this side. So this panel needs to be cut down to 2 1/2. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere all of those down. And since this is a flat card, you can also still add a sentiment in the center if you want. But I'd say that one is mostly done. I probably am going to add a little bit of extra to the front, but I haven't decided yet. So let's work on another card. Some of the things that are in here, we've got hot air balloon. That would be kind of cool. We've got some people in there too, I recall. We've got plenty of butterflies. There's also some cute die cuts. There's some in this set. In the club kit, in the card kit of the month, we've got this pretty stamp set, and we've got some cool dies, and I've already cut out some of those. Because I never do one, I'm going to do this hot air balloon. I think that would be kind of cool. I am thinking I want the blue. That blue, I really like it. And no wonder I was thinking that. I had already used it partially on another card, so yes, that's what I'm going to do. And this one's going to go on just a regular card base. I'm going to just use my dot liner adhesive and line that up. Okay, I'm also going to be using some foam. So here's my foam squares. And I kind of want different heights of the foam. So this one, I do like this little frame here. It says Dreamer and has the definition of Dreamer. So I'm going to put that one on first. It also can pop out, so I need to be careful and make sure I get the whole thing covered with my adhesive so that the inside doesn't pop out. But that also gives you another option when you're using it. So Dreamer's going up there. And then I think I want this one on some low foam tape. That also gives me a narrow strip to work on something else with. Okay. Okay, and then I want to pop my balloon up higher. That's one reason why I'm using two different tapes. The foam squares that come in your card kit of the month are thicker than my Scotch foam. You can see that there. It's at least twice as thick. So that's going to add a little extra dimension to my card. Okay, like that. So right across there. And then for this one, I am going to use some of the sequins that came in the kit. These are so pretty. Okay, what's my favorite color, guys? These are definitely that kind of a blue with just a touch of green in them. I love that soft minty teal color. So that is pretty. So for this last card, okay, I was going through the ephemera and I saw this just super sweet little kitty, and I thought that would look great on the stars. So what I'm going to do, that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm taking a piece of cardstock from my stash. This is just some rose gold foil cardstock from Michaels, and I think it matches close enough to those, and it's cheaper than my good foil cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this down onto that panel. try to square it up. This one is 4 by 5 and a quarter, and then that means that this one is 1/4 inch shorter on each side, so that is 3 3/4 by 5, which should give me that 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So that's good for a matting layer, and I think that that is close enough to being correct. I'm going to pop that up on some foam. So this one's going to have a little more dimension than the other two cards. Take off the release paper and add a little bit of liquid glue to the back so it gives me a little bit more wiggle room. Okay, I think that is close enough. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my... that kitty is just so darn cute! Okay, so what I decided, I've got this, another piece of ephemera that has got some music, so my thought is having the music behind it, and then my kitty, and then filled with happiness. That is gonna be so precious. I think this is gonna go down flat, so I'll go ahead and put the music down. And I think I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle so I don't have to worry about it being completely straight. Put some foam on the back of my kitty. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit up on the, a little bit popped up, so that'll be nice. Taking off all my release paper here. And then I can just pop him down. Okay, yeah, there we go. That look, he's so majestic. And I've got a couple of black cats. I think that that is just so sweet. Okay, is this too wide? No, this may be a little bit too wide for that sentiment there. So I'm going to use this strip that I cut earlier. Just a little bit too long, and now I need to cut another strip. Okay, I think that'll work. I think that is just so adorable. I love the kitty. I really love the kitty. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more to this card because, okay, it's to me it is kind of plain. It's an interesting design because it is a fold, but it's still a little bit, I don't know, a little bit plain. So I grabbed out some other ephemera that came in that kit, and this first one is a butterfly. Another thing that I'm kind of wanting to use, but I'm not, are these. These are just... Do I want to use one of them on this card? Or do I want to leave it pretty much flat? I mean, there are a couple little butterflies in here that match this perfectly. So I could do that, or I could take out one of these. It's one of those things, you open up the kit and it's like, oh my god, they gave us what? And these are just so lovely. So let's see what it would look like. And they are a little bit translucent, which is kind of cool. I have a feeling I'm going to struggle trying to get that in an envelope if I do that. But I do like the butterflies. That's going to, I think, I'm going to have to use this on another card another time. So this time around, I'm going to just use this flat butterfly, which is still very pretty too. These ephemera pieces are just adorable. So the butterfly is going to go up here in the corner. And then I decided I also want to add this little bird because it's just sweet. And I'm going to give it a little branch to sit on. So this is also another of the ephemera pieces in the kit. So just add that right about there. And it ties in with the sentiment because the sentiment does say, let your dreams be your wings. So it's got the whole wing thing going on with both of them. So let me add my little bird down. And that is going to finish that card up. So here are those 3 pretty cards that I just finished using the card kit. I love that little kitty, and I love the dimension on here too. I think I will need to make sure I remember to do that on my pattern paper cards more because, and this one this one has plenty of dimension too. You guys know I love dimension. Dimension is life, right? So anyway, that's going to finish up this card video today using the card kit of the month from Spellbinders. You guys can see the other videos where I'm using the other things in the card kits and of course other Spellbinders videos up here in this playlist. Y'all have a wonderful day. Remember, if I can make it, you can too. And I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys.